Airlines spend 30 to 40% of the operating costs on maintenance over an aircraft's life. But the big question is, who's paying the bill? When an A320 goes in for a check, that's 1 to 3 million. And when an engine needs a shop visit, that's 3 to 10 million. But depending on how the deal is structured, the airline might have to pay it all up front, or spread it over years, or claim reimbursement from a lessor months later. I'm Nadira Shamsuri and welcome to DV Podcast. Today we're looking at how money actually moves in aviation maintenance and why it matters across the ASEAN industry. These are three ways the system works. The first is time and materials or fixed price. This is the traditional model. The airline sends the aircraft to the MRO does the work and invoices for the labor and parts. Simple. The airline pays the bill when the work is finished. The second is power by the hour or PBH. The airline pays a fixed rate per flight hour. The MRO or OEM takes on the risk of when things break and how much repairs cost. The airlines get predictable monthly expenses instead of surprise bills. The third is maintenance reserve. This only applies to leased aircraft. Under an operating lease, the airline pays the lessors a monthly reserve. Think of it like a maintenance savings account. When maintenance happens, the airline pays the MRO upfront, then claims reimbursement for the lessor with documentation. Time and materials is straightforward. You do the work, you send the invoice, but power by the hour and maintenance reserves are where it gets interesting because that's where risks get transferred, cash flow gets complicated and opportunities open up. Let's look at power by the hour first. Instead of paying per event, the airline pays a fixed rate per flight hour. Say $200 per hour. That covers rotable components, APU, sometimes landing gear. Engines are often separate contracts. So why do airlines like this model? First, there are no surprise bills and when something breaks. Second, they outsource inventory management. Third, they get better dispatch reliability. So instead of maintaining spare parts, inventory, and managing repair themselves, they pay a predictable monthly fee and let someone else handle the logistics. Why do MROs like it? They get long-term contracts. 5 to 10 years is typical. That means predictable revenue for planning and work capital. It also gives them access to operational data which helps them forecast failures and control costs. But there's a risk. The MRO is betting on reliability. If the airline's aircraft are flying harder routes, hotter climates, or if parts fail more often than expected, the MRO loses money. The margin comes from managing that risk well. You need to forecast when failures will happen, control what you pay vendors, and optimize your logistics. This is why Power by the Hour works best for large MROs and OEMs with data, scale, and global logistics network. It can absorb the volatility. Smaller MROs struggle unless they pay tight operational control and strong reliability data. Now let's turn to maintenance reserves. This is where leasing changes everything about how maintenance gets paid for. Over 55% of commercial aircraft globally are leased. In ASEAN, that number is even higher and leasing fundamentally changes the cash cycle. Here's how it works. First, the airline pays the lessor a monthly maintenance reserve. Let's say $300 per flight hour. That money goes into an account the lessor controls. Secondly, when a heavy check or engine shop visits happen, the airline pays the MRO upfront. That's 1 to 3 million out of pocket. Third, the airline submits a claim package to the lessor. Invoices, task cards, compliance records, back-to-birth traceability for parts. Fourth, if the documentation is correct and the work matches the lease agreement, the lessor reimburses the airline from the reserve account. That reimbursement can take 30 to 90 days. So what does this mean for ASEAN? ASEAN fleets are increasingly leasing driven. What this means in practice is more demand for lease transition services, dual regulatory approvals, and documentation that speeds up reserves claims. Airlines need faster reserve reimbursements. The business model is evolving to match how the money actually flows. Follow the money and you'll understand the business. I'm Nadira Shamsuri. Thanks for listening to the DV Podcast, where we examine Southeast Asia's aviation industry one topic at a time.